Well, good morning, everybody. It's 10 o'clock. We'll go ahead and get started. My name is Luis, sales engineer here at Long. Thank you for joining us for our weekly Long coffee break. Today, we've got the pleasure of being joined by Brian Jennison with Valent. He's our regional sales manager, and we will be discussing Valent's new indoor ERV and covering some energy recovery basics. Take it away, Brian. Thank you for joining us, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Luis. And thank you everyone for your time. My name's Brian Jennison. I'm a regional sales manager with Valent, and I've got three different topics to hit on today. And the first is we'll cover Valent briefly. I'll just remind you again who Valent is, and we'll do a refresher on energy recovery, namely wheels and cores. Those are the two most common types in our equipment. And then finally, we'll wrap up with the main message today, which is Valent has released a new indoor energy recovery ventilator unit. So we're really excited to bring that to market, and I'll share more about that. Starting out, who is Valent? We've got four key characteristics that I'll share. One, first and foremost, we are outdoor air experts, and we have a couple different product lines, and they're all geared around outdoor air. And that's how we got started. We built DOAS units. We still build them today, and that is our specialty. So dealing with all the challenges that come with treating outdoor air. Along with that, we offer a pretty robust controls offering, and they're pre-engineered sequences that you select in our software. You work with your long representative to tailor the unit to your specific needs, and the unit is ordered that way. It is shipped out with those controls. And the good part is if something changes on the job site and you need to adjust those sequences, you can easily do so in the field. And our technical support team is standing by to help you do that and make those changes, but it's fairly simple to do. And again, we offer a lot of different control sequences with our products. It makes it very flexible to meet the needs of the application. Another thing we do that sets us apart is an end-of-line test for all units that are shipped. And that contributes to our reliable performance. So we know that when a unit is shipped, it's already been started up once at the factory, and we ship out an end-of-line test report with every unit. And we record refrigerant pressures, all the values that we measure when we do our tests of the fans, the heating components, cooling components, dampers, etc. And so when the startup technician gets to the job site to start up the equipment, they have got a report to use as a starting point, and so they know exactly what we measured at the factory. A lot of our competitors don't do that end-of-line test, and so that contributes to our reliable performance. And then hand in hand with that, simple startups. Having those dependable controls, pre-programmed sequences from the factory, and then also the end-of-line test, that all contributes to simple startups. So those are the four key things that Valent is known for. We've got several manufacturing campuses throughout the United States. Our primary campus, our largest one, is in Oklahoma. As you can see there, it's the largest. And our headquarters, our engineering headquarters, is in Minneapolis. So that's where I'm based out of locally here in Minneapolis. Most of the product we ship comes from Tulsa. Some of it comes from North Carolina. So we've got quite a big manufacturing footprint in the United States. Just to give you an idea, this current calendar year, we're going to end up shipping about a little over 100 million in equipment. So 100 million in revenue, and we are continuing to grow pretty significantly every single year. So it's a great position to be in as a company, and we thank you, our customers, for helping us grow so rapidly. The next topic is energy recovery, and for some of you, this will probably be a little elementary, but it's good just to make sure we all are starting with the same baseline. So I call it a refresher, and we're going to talk about wheels and cores. So the enthalpy core heat exchanger has been around for a while, and it's kind of a neat product. And the benefits are it offers both sensible and latent transfer. So it's a total enthalpy transfer device. And it has really low cross-contamination. That's one of the key benefits. It has actually less than 1% cross-contamination between airstreams. And as the air travels through those channels, you can see it might look like it will mix in the middle, but it actually does not mix at all. Those are completely separate channels. And the other big advantage of the core is it has no moving parts. This is probably the number one selling feature of this product is that it has no moving parts. Valent sells about 60% of our products to school districts, and they love this product, this core. And the reason is it doesn't have any moving parts. So, you know, you're technically supposed to wash it once in a while or clean it. But aside from that, there's really no maintenance involved. And that's what the school districts really like. They know that you put this in their unit, it's going to be up on the roof. Likely, they might change a filter once in the unit's lifetime if you're lucky, but they know that it's just going to sit up there and it's going to work. They're not going to really have to touch it. You do get a couple media options. You can do it in a fiber or polymer media, and there's some pros and cons there. I usually tell customers start with the polymer material because it's just a little more robust, a little bit better performance. You can wash it. If the budget's really tight, then you can go with the fiber option. Still get really good performance and low maintenance, just a little bit less robust than the polymer. Here's a schematic that shows psychrometrically what happens with the airflow conditions. We're looking at summertime operation. Now, I know in Colorado you don't have as much humidity as other parts of the country, but for this example, we're assuming your outside air is hot and humid, so typical warm, humid summer conditions for a lot of the country. And when you're ejecting air or exhausting air from the space, the goal is to dump some of that heat and moisture into that exhaust airstream and get rid of it, right? So thereby making your supply airstream cooler and drier. So that's exactly what's happening with this core. The total enthalpy is being reduced through that core. And you see the airflow paths cross there. So call that a crossflow configuration. Remember, the air doesn't actually mix or touch. It just cross paths and it's separated by those channels. The same principle applies in the wintertime, except pretty much the opposite transfer is happening. This time we want to pick up some of that waste heat and a little bit of moisture from the return air or the exhaust air. So that outside air comes in cold and dry, and we pick up some sensible energy and also a little bit of moisture. Now, there's not a lot of moisture typically that's being recovered because our spaces still tend to be dry, but there's still a little bit of moisture that we recover there. So you can see the outside air picks up that heat and moisture. And of course, this makes your system more efficient. Why just dump all of that energy to the outside when you could recover some of that and then lighten the load on your downstream mechanical equipment? The other common option for our type of equipment is an energy recovery wheel. And you can see a picture of it there. This one, for example, has segments. You can see it looks like a pie. So each of those segments can be removed for easy servicing or replacement. And the wheel slides out pretty easily. And you'll notice that it's got a pretty slim profile. And a couple other alternate names you might hear are heat wheel or enthalpy wheel. They all mean the same thing. And that wheel will rotate, and that's how it transfers the energy. So the core, remember, was fixed in place. The wheel actually turns and rotates, and that's how it transfers energy. Benefits, again, it does total enthalpy transfer, so both sensible and latent, just like the core. It also is a little bit more effective than the core. It's actually the highest effectiveness product that you can get for air transfer. And then it has a really small footprint. You see, the core was a little bit longer in length, takes up more space in the unit. This is a very slim profile, which makes it pretty attractive. And with the wheel, you can get it either in aluminum or polymer. Valent offers both. And I get a lot of questions about, well, what's the difference between the two? How they're constructed and the material, of course, is different. But as far as performance, cost, leakage rate, it's all very similar. And it really just boils down to customer preference. Some customers really like the idea of an aluminum wheel, but in the industry, the polymer wheel is very common. Most applications, I think, are just fine with the polymer wheel. But again, just comes down to customer preference. We look at an airflow schematic here, just like we did for the core. Very similar principles involved. We're transferring energy from one airstream to the other. And you'll see this time it's more of a parallel flow path. So the air goes straight through the wheel. It doesn't crisscross. But again, same principle. We're picking up or excuse me, we're dumping off heat and moisture in the summertime, and in the wintertime, we're picking up heat and moisture from the exhaust airstream. So the exact same principle, just in a slightly different way. One I'll call more of an advanced topic that I wanted to make you all aware of. We're seeing more of this in the market. This cartoon on the top shows Valent's philosophy on energy recovery, meaning that if we bring in outside air during normal operation, we want to recover energy for all of that outside air. So you'll see the cartoon on the top shows red, which signifies the hot, humid air, and then that blue color signifies that we've dumped some of that heat into the exhaust airstream, and so now that air is cooler and drier. And you see it, that's a nice profile. All that air is being treated. The bottom cartoon, where we've got that big red X, that is what some of our competitors do that we are saying, don't do this or beware of this. So what they're doing is short circuiting some of that outside air around a smaller wheel. And then you can see downstream of that, either with your coils or your furnace, uh, you have to pick up the rest of that load, right? Because you're not recovering as much energy. And so now your cooling or heating system has to work harder to get that air to your set point. Now, the reason this is done by our competitors is at some airflows, it allows them to squeeze a smaller cabinet size because the wheel typically drives your cabinet size. So they might be cutting down their first cost, but they're making the total unit less efficient, and which is going to result in higher operating cost for your customer. And so we don't want to do that on the Valent side. We want to make sure that if a customer is paying for energy recovery, that we are giving them the full benefits of energy recovery. Now, we can still provide a bypass damper for economizer mode, but we will never short circuit air during normal operation when we're trying to recover energy. That just goes against our philosophy. So something to keep an eye out for, especially if you're a consulting engineer. This is shown in a lot of our competitors' submittals, so you just keep an eye out for it. Usually the telltale sign that this is happening is you'll have a much higher MCA and MOP because your compressors are usually larger, or you have a bigger electric heater, for example. So just keep an eye out for this. If you have other further questions, you can reach out to your Long associates, and we can help answer your questions. The final topic I'll discuss today is our new indoor ERV. So we're really excited to bring this to you. Here are some pictures, one that shows the panels on and one without the panels, just to show you what it looks like inside. And this is coming with an enthalpy wheel. So we talked about wheels and cores. This product is going to have a wheel, and you can see it's got a really low profile, and it's meant to be installed indoors, kind of up in the ceiling, out of the way. And the neat part is it's shipped in sections, or it's got modules, so it could fit through a 30-inch doorway. And that's really helpful, especially for retrofits. It's got two different cabinet sizes. We've got a smaller ERW, we call it I1, up to 1500 CFM, and the I2. So just two cabinet sizes from 375 up to 2500 CFM. So a relatively smaller product, but we've done some market research, and most of the applications where we would fit this product in, it's in that up to 2500 CFM range. So that's kind of where this fits in. Here's a drawing that shows you those modular sections and some of the dimensions there. And the bottom picture shows uh, more of a schematic on how it would be hung. So you can either hang it from the top or the bottom mounting brackets there. So here are the standard features. I'll just go through them quick. So it's painted. It's got a 1-inch injected foam construction. Some of our competitors just offer that foam foil or foam board. So this is a truly injected foam panel. You get direct drive plenum fans with EC motors, full controls, and a 10 kA SCCR, and then several different voltage options. So I get a lot of requests for single phase for this type of product, so we do offer that. And so those are all standard features. Some optional features for this product, again, many here, I'll list them off. You can get a couple different wheel types, MERV 13 filters, low leak dampers, BMS compatibility with the controls. So that's a huge plus. We can control downstream heating or cooling components. And a lot of times we want to pair this with maybe electric heater or something. We can do that with our controls. We do offer a frost control. Remember, we have that wheel, so we want to make sure it does not frost up. So we have frost control options, and then also economizer control. As far as ducting arrangements, we do offer some flexibility there as well. So here's, again, we're looking down from above, and you can see we could bring the duct connections right on the ends with access on one side. But another option would be you could come through the sides with the ducts, and then you have multiple different access locations. So we get a lot of flexibility with where we put the ducts. To boil it all down, where this would fit in, number one, like I mentioned, indoor retrofits. Because it's modular and we can fit through tight spaces, this is a great option for a retrofit indoors. And then with that low profile, anytime there's space constraints, so even if it's a new construction application and you've got really a really small space to fit this in, a great fit, really good fit for this product. And then on top of that, we're seeing more decarbonization, electrification. On the coast, especially, we're seeing a lot of high efficiency initiatives. So energy recovery is a no-brainer for all of those things because you're reducing your electrical needs, your decarbonization efforts, your energy recovery is a must. So this product with a wheel is a great fit for those applications. And then finally, I'll just wrap up. I'll put a plug in for our DOAS product line because that's, again, how Valent started. We still build DOAS units. This is our, if you're familiar with our VX product line, that's what this is. We offer 4 different cabinet sizes, up to 18,000 CFM. And with cooling, we do package DX, air source heat pump, and chilled water. Again, that's all integral to the unit. And on the heating side, gas, electric, hot water, steam, all the usual suspects. And then all of these units, all 4 cabinets, can come with or without energy recovery. So if you wanted a full package unit with energy recovery and, let's say, air source heat pump, we offer that with our VX product line. So we give our customers a lot of great options, a lot of flexibility. And again, thank you for your time today. I'll turn it back to you, Luis.
Thank you very much, Brian. Yeah, very good topic, and yeah, very excited about this product. So reach out to your Long sales engineer if you have any questions or see any applications where this might be a good fit. Join us next week. John Stumpf will be presenting. He's going to be presenting on air source heat pump chillers, frost control, and condensate mitigation. So it should be a very good topic. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Appreciate you joining us every week, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.